You don't need a new motorcycle or a bike with ABS, though ABS is a huge safety backup, or even the latest Brembo brakes to improve your stopping distance. In fact, you can make a real difference in your ability to stop a motorcycle in just a few minutes, and this week I'll show you how. If there is one riding skill that cannot be ignored, it's emergency braking. According to the NHTSA, over 30% of multi-vehicle motorcycle crashes are rear-end or failure to yield collisions, where your stopping ability matters the most. So more often than not, the motorcycle is the one that's rear-ending the car and not the other way around. Your braking distance can be broken down into three main categories. Perception and reaction time. This heavily involves your road strategy. Your braking technique. This is influenced by your road skills. And traction and surface conditions, and the traffic and surface conditions are both affected by your strategy and your skill. So let's talk briefly about all three. First, perception and reaction. For the average rider, it takes about 1 to 1.5 seconds to perceive the hazard and begin braking. This is built into your total stopping distance right from the start. So at about 60 miles per hour, you're going 88 feet before you even begin to brake. So how can you improve this? Well, understand that 1 to 1.5 seconds is already baked into your stopping equation. The only way we can improve this is by seeing hazards sooner and separating ourselves further from hazards. Some of the best tips to do this are looking further up the road, 10 to 12 seconds ahead of your motorcycle. You can adjust your lane position so you can see further up the road. Adjust your following distance to give you more time to see the hazard and plan of action in case that hazard presents itself. No matter the skill of the rider, they don't have the ability to avoid a hazard that presents itself right in front of the rider. Where you're looking, your lane position and your following distance give you more time to avoid a hazard and automatically make you a better, safer rider. Braking technique. This is actual application of the brake. So how you modulate pressure, balance, front and rear braking, and whether you brake progressively or abruptly. So your front brake provides 70 to 90% of your stopping power on most motorcycles. Your rear brake adds stability, especially at lower speeds, and during emergency braking, it provides that 20 to 30%, especially on cruisers, of additional stopping power. A lot of riders say they stop with only the front brake, and they're giving up some stopping power by doing so. Threshold braking is always going to be quicker than ABS. Threshold braking is the technique of progressively applying the front brake, especially with some rear brake, but that front brake right up to the point where that front tire is about to lock up, but keeping it on that threshold of traction to give you maximum stopping distance without ever locking the brakes up. If you grab the front brake in an emergency, which is our common instinct, you're extending your stopping distance if you've got ABS, and you're probably crashing if you don't have ABS by reaching out and grabbing that front brake. So it's important to use a progressive squeeze on that front brake up until the threshold of traction, and then maintain the brake pressure all the way through the stop. At speeds 30 to 40 miles per hour, you probably never will hear that threshold braking, but at higher speeds, you'll hear that front tire begin to whine a little bit just as it's about to lose traction, and that's when you know you need to either maintain or let off that brake a little bit. The difference in an ABS-equipped motorcycle is probably you'll stay upright on the ABS motorcycle, and a non-ABS motorcycle, you're much more likely to crash during panic braking or grabbing that front brake. The road surface that you're on and the traction that you've got available frequently changes on the road with things like oil slicks or gravel, and ABS is a fantastic rider assist to the rider in these types of conditions, but it's not a substitute for proper braking technique. And the only way we have proper braking technique when we need it is by practicing. If you don't practice, you lose that skill set. So up until now, we've talked about road strategy and road skills to avoid a crash. And I've got 2 books on that subject of road skills and road strategy. The MCrider Field Guide has been on sale for a few years now, and I've got a second book available for pre-order on the subject of road strategy. These 2 books are the meat and potatoes of everything taught here on MCrider. You can order both books and save on the order, or you can order each book individually at mcrider.com/books and brush up on your road skills and road strategy before you go out on that next ride. The final primary effect of our stopping distance is traction and road surface. This is one thing that we have probably the least amount of control over. The most important thing that we can do is to keep your motorcycle brakes and tires in good condition and properly inflated. This is done through routine maintenance and a pre-ride inspection. If your tires aren't properly inflated, you're not going to have the stopping distance that you would have otherwise. Our road strategy should be impacted by things like rain, loose gravel on the road surface, and those things we can predict related to road surfaces and lack of traction. But during an emergency stop, sometimes the amount of available traction can change mid-stop. Maybe the rider moves from one type of road surface to another or crosses over a wet or oily spot on the road. This can have a drastic effect on the available traction. This is where ABS can be a real lifesaver. ABS works in the background to help where traction levels change, or the rider panics and grabs the front brake or applies too much brake in the stopping process. ABS will give that tire a chance to regain traction and then begin the braking process over and over. So it's modulating thousands of times per second to keep that tire from locking up and causing the rider to crash. ABS used to be a fairly expensive option, but it's more mandated in many countries now, and that has brought the price down considerably. And on some motorcycles, it's not even an option. It comes standard on it, and I think that's good for all riders involved. So I hope this video has helped you consider some of the aspects of braking and how good road strategy and road skills can have a huge impact on our ability to stay out of trouble in the first place, and then provide you with the tools that you need when, in spite of our best efforts, problems show up anyway. Till next week, guys, it's Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a member of MCrider. You get access to the forums and the field guide and a whole lot more. All the details can be found at mcrider.com/member.